I think that's better. A little sage going. And put it as live. I'm recording it private first, and then I'll just switch it when it's done. Cool. Yeah, I'm gonna start with kicks first. So you're wanting to go, let's work on higher, loosening up on higher.
Yeah.
So basically we'll just like take the kick, work on the little body conditioning stuff. So have like our hands like pretty high. And when you go like, you'll turn that foot out that way, and you should feel a stretch here, and then turn. So we'll just trade those back and forth. And so I make sure it's like hitting the right spot, and then after a few, make sure like the foot goes down fast too.
Yeah.
So just kind of like freeze at the point where you're trying to hit. Make sure you're hitting the right spot, right under there. So you're feeling like tight in here. Is that why you think you can't go up higher?
Yeah, it's definitely like, I think a hip tightness in my hips. Because right there is about as far as I can lift my leg right there.
Yeah, I'm just loosen it up. Measure.
I feel like one of those turning leg out. It's like a tension.
Yeah, like snapping the rubber band.
Mm-hmm.
And is that as high as you can go? Is that pretty much as high as you're kicking?
I'll
You
try.
can kick?
I'll try to get a lot higher. Let me see.
You like try to kick me in the shoulder.
It's tough. It's tough. Not really. No, I can't.
Just keep them low
Yeah.
and let it go over time. Like doing like sitting with your feet out and stuff.
Okay.
Like moving around like that.
Because he actually, if you can hit me in the shots, maybe see a couple. Dang. Yeah, man. That's what I didn't get right there.
No, I'll get your shoulder because that's kind of like your head.
That definitely doesn't feel good either. Even in the arm or the shoulder.
Oh yeah, because if it's if you break your arm.
Yeah.
If you have to block, it's better to not be. If you have to block a kick, block with like both. That way you have two, instead of like one and one, where the bones are, or like block a heavy kick with one arm. You can break your arm. So if you have to take one, it's kind of like something like this. But yeah, it's not pleasant. It's not gonna be pleasant. It might fall through more. You want a little switch size? Are you hitting with your foot or your shin?
Couple on my foot. See, this is like, it's interesting. It's like an instinct almost from soccer because that's where you shoot. This is where you shoot. It's like, that's where you make contact. It's right here.
Yeah. It's not the worst thing in the world if you're like right here, but you can like, especially if you hit my elbow here,
Oh, yeah.
break your foot, try to get like in the shin. Even if you're up higher,
Sure.
it'll still, like, if I just like hit here, like the difference between like this and the same.
Yeah.
I didn't kick you any harder, I don't think.
No.
But it feels different.
Yeah, definitely.
And even if you're in farther, and still, so I kicked you like up here. I'd rather kick you down here so I can get the whip, enough whip. But even if it's up higher, it still hurts because that's a nice thick part of my shin. So I feel pretty tough here. And then down, the farther down you go, the one in my foot, I always have like shoes full of sawdust and pieces and stuff. A couple more. You can go ahead and do it if you want to. If you. Yeah. So this side. Turn your hips over more. So your hips will face that wall instead of like this way.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Come through. Yeah, 'cause more like you just get your weight into it, the better. not the most technical, but that's basically. That's how you can go. You keep like right on
the hip.
Instead of like, this would be a lot better. I mean, it's not gonna feel good to get kicked here, but you're kicking pretty hard bone.
Yeah.
So if you can raise it up just a little bit and get under my ribs.
I think get a little bit higher.
Yeah, and then like part of that triggers I hit the same spot every time. Just like, I don't have the spot on my shirt, but you can.
How's that?
Yep, that's better.
That's
right
what I
on
was
the
thinking.
chin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like right my hip.
Yep. I was thinking about a different part of my technique. I feel like sometimes I'm like stepping out too far and then I'm off balance this way instead of like planting it more under me. When you go slow like this, it like points out a lot of flaws that you may not see if you're just whipping them out real fast.
Yeah.
And definitely not the model of perfection. A little bit faster. Then you can get like tricking somebody where I'll fake that opening just the way you throw it and then catch it. And I do like enter more when you catch it and then like send the opposite fist.
I just saw this crazy knockout. This guy throws the kick and the guy catches it. So you caught it and then he like goes up this and throws his other.
Yeah,
you seen that? Oh my
I
god!
forget that guy's name, but yeah, that was
Brutal. Yeah.
dude. That
He
was an awesome
flies
kick.
off of that leg.
That might be like knockout of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a taekwondo drill, I think. Like where they because they'll kick like a couple times before the foot hits the ground.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird. I'm not gonna try to demonstrate
But
taekwondo. That would be
doing a real fight. Like
yeah. It's pretty amazing, and have it work out like that. Was
yeah.
pretty awesome. And then so there's like a bit of tension here. Just like being like loose with it. Because if I'm like straining too hard, it doesn't want to go anywhere. If you're just like loose and let it fly. Like one thing you might do is just kind of like, you can have your foot hanging off of something, but just like kind of get used to this sort of thing. And then going up higher. Or like out to the side. You're first just like nice and slow. Keeping the balance. So just have like the balance of your leg flying around, and you can also hang on to something, but it gets out more high. It's kind of like circling and working like balance like all these muscles and
that bad sign, my hips popping as I do.
We'll do few throws. Let's see how this combination worked out. So, well, let's just start with kind of like we were doing before, and just kind of like zombie walk a little bit and do shoulder throws, And then we can do some from like catching that, like bait the thing, then catch, and then do the whole sweep into it. But we'll start with the shoulder throw. That's when you're wanting to work on?
Yeah,
Shoulder throw.
yeah, we worked on last time. Yeah.
Okay.
That's underneath the shoulder? Right.
That way you kind of get the timing of like where somebody's stepping and stuff without making it too difficult. So when you enter, like pull, and this arm goes under, and then keep this arm here. Yeah, so grab that, pull, step both feet inside line, facing the same direction. And we'll do a few just like with the pull, and then we'll do a push and then pull, because that's more realistic. So first just pull. That's kind of weird. One more and then we'll do a push and then pull. Yeah. And then we'll do it from like kind of a clinch, where we'll I'll push into you, and then you push back. And then finish with the knee here, because that keeps you from really turning into me. And then I get the like into a clinch, push me, and then I'll push back. And when you land, secure that arm a little bit better. So I feel like with yours, it was more like something like this. Make sure it's like here so they can't use it. And that one be free to like punch.
Okay.
Update thing. Keep forgetting to update it. Try not to hit the brakes there. So when you push into me and I push back, just try to like pull right through. Yep.
Yeah, it's like a quick moment, the timing.
Yeah. Yeah, because if you hit the brakes on me, I might not keep driving, but because it's just that little.
Yeah.
And see, so I'm like, kind of like being square. So if I'm more this way, then you gotta throw me this way because you make a triangle.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where you'll be here, and then I'll end like here. It's a triangle. So even if I'm like facing this way, the triangle is still like here. But if I'm here, it's right here. So I'm kind of like being more square when you line up. That's good. That's better. push from the lane, like, that's pretty cool.
This side definitely comes down pretty hard. Come around.
Yeah, as long as it's flat and you're reaching. Yeah. So I can't really hit my head to the ground. If I'm like here, I can. If I'm like reaching this way, my head's not gonna hit the ground. So I'm gonna make sure my chin's tucked. So if it's up here, it's gonna like draw around. But here, it doesn't really draw. Your throw. I have like palm up here too. Make sure that knee is like up. Yeah, like here. And then that one's out a little bit further. Yeah, a little bit. Bent, still bent a little bit. Yeah, something like that. More pull on my arm. Extend it. Feel it?
Yeah.
I need to do that too. You can also tell me like, I didn't feel like you pulled that one enough.
Yeah.
So it's not like I'm doing anything close to perfect. So. And both feet inside mine?
I think my shoulder got there. It should be just
Yeah.
my elbow here.
Yeah. Sometimes I'll see people do like this way. To me, it's weird. It's not how I learned.
It feels awkward.
I see most you guys doing this way. This feels pretty secure. So I got to pull on this arm, right? So if I'm up here, it's kind of weird. But some guys might like do this kind of a thing, I think. It's kind of is that called a flying mare in wrestling? Is that the flying mare? It's weird, but you don't have that same kind of if that one's like better, I've never been taught like that way. I was always just taught like traditional judo way.
Yeah, the leverage. I feel like you have better leverage when it's not in the shoulder.
Yeah.
It's like you're pulling further.
Yeah. Well, I'm thinking about it. It's like, well, what if the arm is up there anyway? So we'll take like a short walk. Like you'll just get behind me, one, and then reach around my neck. So like if you're facing this way, like come a little bit closer to me, and we'll like just start walking real slow so we don't run on a mat. So it's like, oh, you gotta go do that over because I can't do that throw. Just bend down, lean forward, lift me up, same throw. Yeah. Yeah. So if somebody comes up behind you, that's like the good. Like as soon as you start to feel it, because I don't know if you have a wire or what's going on, but as soon as that came around my periphery, I bend down, forward, and put my arms up like in this X. So then I can. Yeah. So you just kind of like. That way, if they have a wire, whatever, and then it catches that arm, and then yeah, you don't have the same leverage, right? But
Right.
it's it can still be. So when you're like we used to do this drill, like we're. And it really to get your legs smoke, and then he'd have you like sit down, and your legs are just pumping. You know, then you stand up, and you have somebody come up and pipe dog, and just do that for a while, and then it kind of gets used to like. So just kind of get used to this leaning forward with your hands in like this X position. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. So you may not have that jump. It might just be like that force coming down, and then it makes it hard to. You can do a bunch of throws off of there, so even if you're, so that one I just caught it with one of them, but I still grab whatever's up here, maybe it's your shirt or your arm. Yeah, we don't do a lot of it. It's like heard you coming. But like at least lets you feel it like if their arm's already over.
Yeah.
Because if you let me here and then you come back, good luck throwing me like that.
Yeah.
But if you're forward, I can't really put you back very well. Because I have to lean forward.
Yeah.
If I lean forward, you can throw me that way.
Yeah, that was what I was trying to do was I saw this on Gracie video, is like if you're coming from behind somebody, is you give like a bump. You bump them on their knee or on the back to get them to lean back a little bit.
You do like a kick the knee up and then bring them down.
Yeah.
And then you can put, so my right foot is flat on the floor, and then my right knee is here. And I can come here and choke. And then I can bring you straight down. And that's when like super nasty choke.
Oof, yeah.
But so we'll do a few more this way, and then we'll do it where the person in the back gets the win. So notice you kind of like try to make it one. You're kind of like doing this sort of thing.
Yeah, like pausing.
Yeah. So you're, yeah. Yeah. You know, the more you can pull that arm, the less they can pull it back. If I'm here, you can pull it back pretty easy. If I'm here, try to pull it back. Like I'm not even trying. It's just there. Now, just let me get the throw. So I'll just sneak up behind you. I'll hit the choke, and I'll do from standing. I'll get the tap. Sit you down. I'll get the tap, and then I'll lay you back and get the tap. So it'll be 3 chokes. And then sit you down. And so I have my head here. So my head is giving me help here. I don't want to be like this way. You have too much room. You can move around. But if I'm here, you're locked in pretty good. And then here, what I could do, don't fall backwards. Just stay standing. Is I'm up on my feet. And I can bring, I won't even do it because it's so gnarly. But I'm on my knees now. But if I was up on my feet, like I'll hold you put all your weight. Yeah, that's without the choke. Pretty uncomfortable, right? So you have that in there with all that weight coming down. And if I can get your head to twist, it's then you can break the neck easier. Yeah. So you don't have to do that one. Just like right across the, yeah, you can, and if you do the other one, then it's like this. And that way you're, these get my carotid artery. So you can do that, no problem. But you can do this one. And then have that elbow back more. And then so you like push my knee, let me fall backwards a little bit. And then you take a step back with your right foot. Use your foot. Your right foot. Pushing my knee. Yeah. 10 out and go backwards. And then you step down. As soon as that starts to happen, I'm gonna
Right knee is right. My knee stays into your back.
Yeah. So your foot flat on the floor, pointing like at my tailbone, and knee right in my spine. Yeah. Yeah. And then do you have room to go backwards?
Go back to my knees. Yeah.
Yeah. And then yeah, pretty gnarly. And you feel like you can get like a ton of pressure.
Yeah, you just kind of like putting your weight down.
Yeah. So that's my foot. And then I step back. So I can just get it here. So you can kind of like play around with it a little bit, but we'll do it like step by step because maybe we'll end up here. And from this one, we can do a couple more, and then I'll show you the only defense that I really know of for if you find yourself there, because it kind of happens when you're sparring. Like early it can pop up, and if you know that, you can wait. No, you're. So like as soon as you start to like, you can kind of like do like so I just like pulled you into the choke. And then my right foot is forward, and then my right foot's backwards, and then so you can do so like pull me off balance first, and then let me fall into it, sink that choke in, standing, sit me down, and then leverage into me. Yeah. When are you doing this one, like that part of your wrist, right above my, yeah, that's terrible. That was good. It's nasty. It feels way different. Like you're kind of like sinking in this way, and yeah, it's not so good.
Cushion.
If you're here, it's way different.
The bone.
Yeah. So you feel how I can just like pull you down into my knee too?
Yep.
So I don't know what it'll have. It'll at least be something else that's unpleasant that happens on the way down. You can pull the knee to the spine. It's not going to do a lot, but it'll do something. Yeah, and that's like
squeezing air out.
So from there, maybe there's a better way.